I'm back. For a lot of y'all, I'm brand new, but you know, I've been making Pokemon videos. I've been cooking silently. Anyway, have you ever been surprised by a Pokédex entry? I want you to look at this big Pokemon. I want you to look at him, muscles protruding. I want you to tell me his height. Just off glance, I was like, this is a tall king. This is a big, muscly, 6'2", 6'4", 6'5" dude. Right? No, he's 5'3". Some of y'all are probably thinking, okay, that's not even like that big of a difference. Okay, I get it. I just wanted to point out that Machamp is the short king. With all that being said, today I'm going to be going over a bunch of different Pokemon's heights. I'm just going to kind of call out and give my commentary about which ones I think are weird, the ones that I didn't expect and stuff like that. So thank y'all for watching in advance, and let's get started. Okay, now before we actually dive into this video, I should make a quick disclaimer that Pokemon heights are not set in stone. I mentioned just earlier in the intro that Machamp is 5'3". That does not mean every single Machamp is 5'3", okay? And there are many examples of that in the show is where you can see it the most. There's also in the games too, you can see there are smaller and bigger versions of the same Pokemon. So when I talk about these Pokemon heights, picture them as a general medium, the average height of X Pokemon. Right? Machamp is 5'3". You know who else is 5'3"? Well, there's a lot of people, but the one I'm going to talk about here is Tentacruel. Now, I'm sure all of us have heard the OG Pokemon opener. You know, Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Yeah, we've heard that. Look at this. Bro, what the? That's a building, dude. Do you see Tentacruel in this opener? That's a building. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't been in a building that's smaller than me. I'm 6'2", dude. You're telling me that building that Tentacruel just crushed is around the same height as him, 5'3"? Yeah, you're funny. Sure, there's some explanation. I'll be honest, I don't really watch the show. I just play the games. I'm a shiny hunter. So if y'all have any idea of why there's a supersized Tentacruel, man, Tentacruel anyway. You know who should be building sized? Groudon. He's a behemoth. This is a gargantuan of a Pokemon. Look at this description in the Pokédex. It can cause magma to erupt and expand the landmass of the world. We are talking about a Pokemon that creates land. We are talking about a Pokemon that stomps or something, and he just makes land. So tell me why a Mon that's supposed to have all this power is only 11'6". Now, don't get me wrong, that's still a big. He get mad at you, he get in a fight with you, bro, you're done. I'm sorry, I'll catch you later. You're done. But for a description as powerful as that, somebody, a Pokemon that can create land, that's supposed to be in a constant battle with Kyogre, right? He's shorter than an elephant. Just like Pokemon, animals of all kinds, they also vary in size. Elephants can get up to 13 feet tall, which that alone kind of says enough. The average elephant is taller than a Groudon, which is a great feat for an elephant, but for Groudon, who is supposed to be the creator of land, the creator of land masses, they can expand land. Being only 11 feet tall seems underwhelming. When I hear of a Pokemon of that with that much power, I'm immediately thinking very large scale. Like I said at the beginning of this, building size, something that if it's there, it's a problem just being there. It's a problem. It's just a menace. Just its presence. You get what I'm saying? Now that I'm finished with Groudon, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Arbok. Groudon was 11'6", and Arbok is also 11'6".
What?
I feel like I shouldn't be too surprised, honestly, when it is a Serpentine Pokemon. They do the height from head to toe of the Pokemon. So some of these heights are actually ridiculous. I'm not gonna stick on Arbok for too long, but Yeah, the fact that Arbok is in fact the same height as Groudon is kind of crazy. Anyway, moving on. Sticking to the theme of serpentine Pokemon, the most popular one, I don't even think this is a debate, Rayquaza. Rayquaza is easily the most popular serpentine Pokemon, and Rayquaza sits at 23 feet tall. He is 23 feet tall. That's a big lanky. He's big as. Now, what if I told you that Onix is actually bigger and taller than him and weighs more? Onix has everything on Rayquaza besides probably raw power. 28 feet of big lanky rocks? I don't know, man. I don't know. And to continue on top of that, Steelix, of course, taller than Onix, but taller than Rayquaza. Rayquaza is already 23 feet tall. Steelix is 30. Steelix, this big, has 7 feet on Rayquaza. While we're on the topic of these guys being tall, you know who's taller than Steelix? You're probably thinking a legendary, right? No, a Alolan Exeggcutor. You want to talk about building size? This mon is 35'9", 35 feet tall, man. Almost 36. He's not even that far from 36 feet. That is one tall, lanky. All right, though, we're getting to some pretty high numbers. We're kind of up there now. Let's dial it back for a little bit. Let's dial it back to more human-like height. The next one we're going to talk about is Hariyama. Now, we've seen from the show is never a source that you should trust, especially considering that we kind of just went over the building size Tentacruel at the start of the video. But this one seems pretty alright, right? You see Snorlax here. That's one big. Snorlax is a big dude. Here's the stats right here. Snorlax is 6'11". And obviously in the picture, Hariyama is smaller. No, that's also inaccurate. Hariyama, while he does not weigh as much as Snorlax, he is definitely way taller than Snorlax. Anyway, moving on from Hariyama, we are basically done with the main ones I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna throw a couple honorable mentions in here though. First, we have Zacian and Zamazenta. I will be completely honest, I don't know if this is crazy because I skipped Sword and Shield. I have not played Sword and Shield, but when I did see these two box legends, I kind of assumed that they were around the same size as the legendary dogs, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, right? Well, I don't think to anybody's surprise, I was very, very wrong about that. These two box legends actually have a couple feet on all three of the legendary dogs, standing at a tall, proud 9 feet. While the three legendary dogs we know and love are all sitting in the 6 feet range. Entei is the tallest, almost at 7 feet, but still has the 6 there. The last honorable mention that we have here is Weezing, or should I say Galarian Weezing. Weezing sits at 3'11", right under 4 foot. But if we're talking about Galarian Weezing, it skyrockets up to 9'10". Now, stick with me on this. Assuming that the body of Galarian Weezing is the same height as OG Weezing, right? That would make just the hat on Galarian Weezing 5 feet and 11 inches long, which that alone is taller than a lot of the mons that we know and love today. But here we are, we're at the end. Thank you guys for watching. I'm trying to push out as much content as I can, so if you have any ideas, let me know. I definitely have the plan to talk about Pokédex entries and Pokemon weights in the near future. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sticking by to the end of this video, and y'all have a good one.